Hello, hello, can you hear me? Hopefully, I'm just going to double check that we are actually live. It would appear so. Hello, hello. Right, let's do that. Let's get some music going. Let me get this going. That is very loud. Okay. Do let me know how that is versus me. I'm gonna just get stuck into things. Hi, hello, happy Wednesday, everyone. How are you doing? Future watchers of the live, feel free to drop us a comment if we don't catch you live. We're still kind of somewhat fluid with our Wednesday streams as to how these are running. I've just realized that I need to get the chat window. Hang on 2 seconds. It's not working properly as it should be. Right, let's do that. We can mute it. We can get the chat. Pop it out. Get rid of you. Oh, you think I'd be used to this kind of stuff by now? It's only like I've been streaming for, you know, a long time. A long time. On and off. Okay. There we go. So now we can see that. Cool. So, I thought I'd run through some of the bits that I'm working on at the moment to begin with, just to kind of give you guys an idea to see what is happening. Let me just do a little thing here as well. Go. So that's that out there. So yeah, just a little idea of what we are working on currently, what the plans are going forwards, and then we can get right into the stuff and things. So for the most part, over the past few days, I have been working on the tutorial for this weekend's video, so for Sunday's video, just to give you a little sneak. I was like, why is that so aggressively out of it? There you go. So this is what I've been working on for the video this weekend. Obviously this is part of my How to Paint Space Marines tutorial series, where we also have touched on how to do these guys, and also how to do these guys. So I figured, whilst I am hello focus, why are you not focus? There you go. So yeah, whilst we've already done the Ultramarines and we've already done the Blood Angels, I figured that it wouldn't hurt to work on the Dark Angels next, especially considering that we are doing those as our pledge. So, yeah, here's kind of where we're at with it. We're very close to being finished. Mostly, all that's left to do is the skin, the black highlighting, and there's some gold details I need to pick out. And this guy's pretty much done. I've been trying to really push myself a little bit and like work on not necessarily freehanding per se, but just kind of getting my skills in check. So we've dabbled with a little bit of this. We are also in the process of working our way through a painting challenge, which is part of our Beat the Backlog stuff. I am currently 4 and a bit hours in. No, 4 hours is the last update on that. So this is kind of like I'll pick this project up when I need a break from something else type thing. Yes, my girl. Also, usual caveat, there is my 6-year-old in the background, so we will get interrupted every now and then. Hello.
Can I just do the same as
You, well, no, darling, you can't paint my minis and tell everyone what I'm doing. Okay, tell them what I've been doing then. What have I been doing? Painting, that is correct. What have I been painting? Models. Yep, you're right. You know what they're called? No. Okay. That's fair. So, huh? Okay. I've been concentrating on one model, yeah. But I have been painting others as well. You are very, very correct.
Not.
Yep. Good job.
Now I can talk?
You have been talking. They can hear you.
Yay. And I can just talk wherever I want.
Well, I'd prefer it if you didn't talk too much so that I can tell everyone what's happening, but I'm sure they don't mind.
Okay.
So, one of the other things that I've been doing, and if you are sort of newish to the channel or if you've been around recently, you will have seen that I've started doing a how to paint Warhammer Quest Darkwater series. So the first bunch of stuff I was painting for that were these guys. Hello, focus. Yeah, these are... Hello? Yeah, I don't know. So these are the Maya Kelpies. These are just some of the Gribblies that you can find in the box of Warhammer Quest. And this is what we worked on at the start of the year. There's 6 of these guys, and we painted them in a few different ways. So there was like a quick and dirty way of doing it, which resulted in kind of these guys, which essentially was like a let's get your minis playable without having to worry too much about it. And then the first one I showed, oh excuse me, was putting a bit more effort into it. Now the next one that we're working on, spoilers, is the how to paint the Pox Wretches, I think that's what they're called. And we are mostly done with putting the base colors down. So we did a test model for the starter. I can show you that. So that's where we're at for them. This is pretty much just a quick and dirty scheme because there are 14 of these guys. So we will have a tutorial coming along soon for when the Pox Riches are done and sort of ready to go, but we're not quite there yet. But again, I want to try and do like a quick and easy tutorial for part of the video, and then for the other part I want to kind of like go into some more sort of detailed stuff that you can do with the model. Like they're supposed to be gross and like infested, so I want to look at making bruised skin. I want to look at how you can get like a really nice kind of green tinted shield effect, as well as sort of picking out some of the fancy details. Also looking at pustules and boils and all that kind of grossness. So that will be coming very soon. This weekend's tutorial is, if I can get it finished in time, is going to be about the how to paint Dark Angels. because that's kind of what my focus has been on this week. The How to Beat the Backlog challenge, as I said, I'm about 4 hours in on that, and this one is a randomized way of painting kind of blocks of my pile of shame. So we will be doing, or have been doing, Black Powder's Buccaneers. I'll show you a little spoilery of that. So here is the bird for it, and he's looking pretty shiny. So there's 4 models in these, and I've tried to focus on these guys. I don't know if it's going to zoom in on his eyes. It's a bit of a crazed kind of monkey looking thing. So this is somewhere between speed painting and not. Here's one of the little goblin dudes. Sorry, they're not a goblin. They're a Noblar. That's what they are. Not a goblin at all. And where's the other guy? Here. I had to take him off of my painting handle because I had to put the Dark Angels guy somewhere. Hello? There we go. So that's pretty much where we're at with those 4. And I love you too, darling. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I saw that. Thank you. So those are kind of like 3 things. So you've got the Dark Angels video this weekend. You'll then have the next painting Dark Water video when they're done, plus the Beat the Backlog video, and then I have another few things lined up. So sorry, this is very wordy start of the video, but it is what it is. I was on the Kieran Show stream the other day. They were doing like a giveaway for the new Corsair stuff, and whilst I already have a How to Paint Ultramarines video in my channel, excuse me, one of their viewers pointed out that Amazon are doing a really good deal at the moment for this thing. Hang on, let me get the book as well because it's really worth showing you this. So I'd never actually heard about this before, but there's this book. There's only so much room I have on my desk, so apologies. So there is this character encyclopedia book, but inside it contains this Lieutenant Titus miniature, which is this guy down here. Now, half of the book is taken up by the space for that sprue. However, within the book itself, there's like, I don't know how well you can see this, but there's some really good kind of like reference pieces here for all the like loads and loads of different characters, and kind of focusing in on details and all sorts of different stuff in there. And it's not just Imperium, there's Chaos in there, there's also the Xenos races and things like that. So this is like a really cool kind of reference thing. But also, I discovered in the back, not just the index, so not right at the back, but there is not only a glossary of terms, but there is a pronunciation guide, and there's a whole bunch of different names in there that most people probably pronounce slightly incorrectly. So this was like 50% off currently on Amazon, so you can pick that up for like very, very cheap. And as I said, you get this mini in the book as well. So my plan for this is, whilst I already have my How to Paint Ultramarines video on the channel, I want to make a How to Paint this guy. Excuse me, oh my god. How to paint this guy up, but I'm not going to use my airbrush at all. in the painting of this, so it will literally be Rattlecan Primes black and then painting using brush only for the rest of it. So it'll be very cool to see how that goes. And I also have a notion for, because I guess I'm an idiot sometimes in this regards, but I took a notion that I want to paint my Iron Jaws this year as well, and I have this model. This is a limited edition or commemorative series or whatever you want to call it. This particular model was the Year 1 Warhammer Plus kind of exclusive model alongside this guy. So you could pick between the two of them, and this is actually one that I'm painting for someone else. So my one is not anywhere near this standard. But yeah, these were the two first year subscription models that you could pick up. And I plan to paint up this guy. He's got a traditionally orky sounding name, Bazdrog Neck Chopper. I'm assuming because he's a bit of a badass. He's from the Sigmar range. Oh my god, I can't stop yawning. It's been a long day. So I want to try and get him painted at some point. That'll probably be February now, but at least this gives you a bit more of an insight into what's to come. I also will be popping into the nerd shop this weekend to basically sign up to the Paint a Million Minis before May thing. Essentially, if you're not aware, because I wasn't aware until I found out about it over on Nerdy Miniatures, and there is a challenge going on, kind of off the back of the usual New Year, New Army, but it's New Year, New Challenge, and it is essentially to paint up 1 million minis across, like, basically everyone across the world who's into the hobby, to paint up 1 million minis before May. I think it was the 9th of May. I've pulled that out of the top, out of nothing. So it might not be the 9th of May. But there are details of it on the website. And there are prizes. So you go in, you say, I'm going to paint X number of minis. And there's prizes at certain points. And off the back of that, I don't know how you have to evidence it. I haven't found out more information about that, but I thought, given that as part of my pledge for the Tale of Two Brothers, I am going to be painting like 20-ish minis before the end of March, exclusively for that, and then on top of that I've got 49 minis in the Darkwater box, which I'm planning to paint. And then in quarter two's a bit leaner in terms of the Tale of Two Brothers. It's more focused on Lionel Johnson, some aggressors, and I think the Inner Circle companions. So there's only like there's only like 7 minis there, but there will be other stuff going on in the background as well. So I reckon I could do 100 in 5 months, or what's left of 4 months now, give or take. So we shall see. Anyway, on to what we currently have for our Tale of Two Brothers project. I think last session I focused a lot on this chap, and we didn't finish him, so I'd kind of like to finish putting down my colours on this guy and sort of seeing where we can get to with it. So I'm just going to bring up my Combat Patrol Blood Angels on the Combat Patrol Blood Angels, Combat Patrol Dark Angels. Sorry, it's been a long day, forgive me. Yeah, Blade Guard. Okay, so it is a gold bit on the knee. What else has he got? The silvers are all done. I think this guy was close to being kind of almost done with the golds. So certainly almost done with the silver, or done with the silvers even. Yeah, there's only like a couple of little bits left to do on him before all of his base colours are down. So why don't we grab our gold mix and get cracking. I mean, it's only 20 minutes into the video. I think we've possibly waffled as much as we can get away with. I did also get, I haven't tried it yet, but I won a prize on the People's Postcode Lottery, which was for a choice of things, and I picked a handheld massager thing, which I'm going to try and use as something of a paints agitator, like a handheld vortex mix type thing. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be interesting. Alright. If anyone has any questions, as per usual, as I'm going along, please do ask. As you can probably tell by now, I will probably go off on a tangent, drop everything I'm doing, and explain my life away. But that is part of why we do what we do, as people do stream. So what we will do is we'll do this gold here on this chap's knee, and then we'll grab the other Blade Guard vets and we'll do all the gold on them as well, because essentially that's them all done up to tabletop standard at that point. So that's kind of box ticked. However, I do want to paint them to a higher level, and I'll show you kind of a bit about that once we are done with this bit. Now, I'm not going to be doing a higher level on all of them, because I have 10 intercessors to do, I have a captain in Gravis armor to do, or to finish off. I have an apothecary biologist. I should check my book to see if there's a reference for how to pronounce that. Just for some reason is not wanting to focus on chat. So that's pretty much at, I would say, a tabletop ready standard. So that's like your bare bones completion for the challenge. Now, where I'm taking things a bit further, and I can kind of show you it on this Gravis guy a little bit, but he's by no means finished, is I've started to do a bit of edge highlighting, picking out colors and whatnot, more specifically with the greens on this guy, and I might do some on camera in a bit, but my goal essentially is to get my characters painted up to quite a high level, I think, and this is kind of the level that I want to have at least my characters painted to. Hello, camera. So, edge highlighted, a bit of freehand on the knee, a decent standard of painting, I think you would agree. So that's where I want to take all my characters to, at least, given the time, and we'll see how we go. We shall see how we go. there's also the chance that once I've finished painting up for my Beat the Backlog challenge, we randomize something hideous that has a lot of models in it as well that we need to paint up. I'm going to try and do one of those every month, so in theory that's potentially another, if we get another, like, well, I don't want to do two of the same, so we've got an Underworlds one for the first one. We'll probably take Underworlds off of the options for the next one, and then we will randomly determine what we get off of that. So, where have we got first? Let's start picking up his knee. I also started trying out the Derpa paints, Duncan Rose Painting Academy paints. For the first time, I have the Green Angels Triad, or whatever it's called. Essentially, it is the equivalent of Caliban Green, Warpstone Glow, and Moot Green. And I use that almost exclusively on the guy that I just showed you that's got a whole bunch of edge highlighting done on it. I'm very happy with the results, and I may just use those colours for the rest of the army, and not only because my Warpstone Glow is, well, it's almost completely finished. As well, I need to do something here so I don't get slapped. There we go. Cool. I just had to put in my description that the music that we are listening to is from White Bat Audio. It's a fantastic resource, especially for streamers. You've probably, if you are a fan of a lot of different kinds of videos, actually, they basically do some sort of they do free music, but you need to make sure that you name them, credit them, that's the term. Otherwise, you get like a, hey, you're using my shit for free notification. Rightfully so, as well, because they're really, really awesome. But yeah. So credit where credit is due. If you are working on your own projects, do feel free to let me know what it is you're working on, or if you're taking part in the Million Minis challenge, what are you pledged to be doing for your own offerings. The prizes are okay in that, by the way, if you are curious. Essentially, you get like a paintbrush tin if you do 100, along with a like a silicone mat for your paint water holder, and I think there's also a pin if you do 25. If those are your things. I would highly recommend getting in touch with your local G-dubs and finding out a bit more about it. Also, the date when they say it's to be done by, which, as I said, I think it's the 9th, is, from what I understand, suspiciously close to the potential launch of the next Warhammer edition. So I think it's to create some hype around that. Not that there's going to be any lack of hype about a new edition, there always is. See if I can do something here. A little bit better. I don't know where all this fluff keeps coming from, but it's very annoying. Hopefully that gives you a bit of a better time seeing what we are doing, what we're working on, and whatnot. As always, do let me know if the audio is too loud, or if I'm painting off camera. That happens a lot. What's wrong, darling? It's okay. I've told the viewers that if they're watching, then they need to be aware that you're doing stuff in the background, so you might make a little bit of noise every now and then. Also, just as a reminder to any of you out there that, excuse me, for whatever reason might not be aware, but February is right around the corner. And what better reason than to buy your very own nerd more plastic crack than Valentine's Day? They will, in fact, love you forever. Confirmed. Yes, Lucy? Do you think Mummy could maybe help you? Correct. Thank you. It's very cute. Do you mean make a loop? it's hard having to translate 6-year-olds sometimes. She's trying, bless her. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we will do all of the gold on this guy, and then we will swap over to doing some work on the Captain in Gravis armor, and then see how we're doing time-wise. I also have a bit of a squeaky desk, I do apologise. Hi! That is beautiful, but I think I have a sneaky suspicion, my girl, that it might be a little bit too narrow for me to fit. Yeah. It's very pretty. Okay, thanks. I mean, you don't need to make a bracelet to tell me that you love me, darling. That's okay. I appreciate it, though. The thought that counts. Just being super careful here to try and not mess up the shoulders, because the beige color that we've got down, or the bone color, whatever you'd want to refer to it as, is not just bone. It's had like a nice oil stain essentially over the top of it. So it would be somewhat of a pain to have to kind of go back in. Hang on. I realise that I'm sitting quite far away and having to lean in an awkward angle. Let me just reposition slightly. Right. There we go, that's a bit better. start of the stream was a little bit like a workbench Wednesday, which we used to do on a Monday. Essentially just explaining what we've got, what we're working on, what our intentions are. And we will be visiting the nerd shop this weekend, so we may in fact come away with some goodies as well. I don't know, we'll see. I'm mainly going to take my brother in. He has confirmed that he may not accidentally slip a big Tyrannid Gribbly into his purchasing of paint. I'm not sure I would do Nids, but I might pick up something else along the way. Like, I really like I have quite a big craft world army as well. I'd like to get some of that painted at some point. Not just painted, but painted quite well. And one of my favourite units for that army are the Warp Spiders. And they, not too long ago, got a fancy new oh god, what are they called? My brain said Autark, but that is not what I mean. Phoenix Lords, that's the word. Sorry, my brain was very much lagging there. So I might pick up Lycus, I think its name is. Lycus. If they have some. And if they do have one, you know, I'll just consider it fate. But we shall see. Really would be a shame if that was to fall in my box. I also need to get the new avatar at some point. You know, the potential issues that we might encounter at the shop this weekend is growing ever bigger by the second. But as I just said, it is Valentine's Day soon, and you know, I might have to sweet talk the missus me like, yo. I bought this for myself for Valentine's Day, thank you. Because she doesn't have a clue what would be cool for me to get or not. I also have a little bit of Lego arriving tomorrow. The last of my birthday money went on that. So I'm quite excited for that prospect. It's just a Formula 1 car. I got one for Christmas. And I was like, well, it looks a bit silly on its own, so it needs a friend. So I currently have the Red Bull car, and I have a Ferrari arriving, I think, tomorrow, along with a little game that I'm gonna try and teach Lucy how to play. Yes, you! Anyway, Mummy said it's bath time. Why are you still down here? Okay. Well, if Mummy tells you off because you didn't get upstairs, that's on you. The joys of parenthood. She can be super cute sometimes, though, so it definitely does balance out. This is one of those tunes, if you watch a lot of tutorials, you'll probably hear and be like, oh, that's what this is from. There's an Aussie guy that I watch. I think he's Aussie, he might be Kiwi. No offense. I struggle sometimes figuring out the difference, especially when the accent's a bit softer. And he uses this as his intro for his videos. May have noticed I am not the world's swiftest painter, but I do the detail not too bad. wonder what the guy who does, I think his name's Carl, I want to say Carl Casey, White Hat Audio. I wonder what they use to make their music videos, audio, all that sort of stuff. I have seen recently, and I've been somewhat addicted to watching people do this thing called coding music. And there's a few different applications they use for it. The one that sort of first drew me in was a artist called Switch Angel, and they used this program called Strudel, and you basically code in like the instruments that the beats are, and you code in all the beats, and it kind of just plays it back. It's actually quite cool, very clever. It did kind of get me thinking. I was like, because I have a qualification in that involves some coding, so I was like, I wonder, is this maybe something that I could look at and do for my own stuff, so I'm not reliant on other creatives creating music and things like that. And then I was like, yeah, but your project list is already crazy big. Learning a new programming language to make music for your other projects might not be the best use of your time this year. However, I did also start looking at other things for this channel for later in the year, and I want to pick up probably about halfway through the year now, just to be realistic about it. I want to pick up a bamboo printer, just something that's a bit more modern than the one that I have at the moment, because which I say the one I have at the moment, I currently have about 4 resin ones and an FDM printer. So the bamboo is an FDM printer, but my FDM printer is a very old one, and I would kind of like something that's just plug and print, essentially, which is what that one is reported to be. Also has a bigger print area, works faster, uses multi-filament, that kind of stuff. So one of the goals of one of the sort of side quests, if you will, is that I want to be able to play battle with my brother at the end of it. So when we hit the 2,000 points mark, to be able to have essentially a table that we can have at it with our respective 2,000 points. And part of that is going to require me to essentially make a gaming table. Now, there is very limited space in my house, and the area that I would need to use for a gaming table is essentially already occupied by a coffee table that is of an oval shape, which is no bueno when it comes to playing 40k or other things like that. So the plan is to acquire 2 kind of fold-away trellis style tables that are big enough between them to be like a full-size play table, but also tall enough to essentially go over the area that the coffee table or the table in the living room is. We do have a small utility room which we are I say renovating with trepidation this year. Next month basically that's getting gutted, and we are having like a change around of our kitchen. So once that's all out of the way, I will be looking at terrain making and things like that for these games. Now, one of the things that I want to do and have wanted to do for a while, but haven't had the inclination to sort of take it beyond just the hey, I'd like to do that at some point idea, is if there are any amongst you that remember the terrain of old. Now, this is not an original idea, it has been done, I know, but I'd like to have a bash at it because my qualification also does involve some 3D modeling as well. Granted, it was using not Blender. So what I would like to do essentially is to model some of the essentially the older style cardstock terrain from the 90s, you know, like the Imperial Fire Base, the Bastion, that kind of stuff, and start making kits that I can print off. I also plan to, when I get to quarter 3, I think quarter 3 is when I start looking, or quarter 3 or quarter 4 is when I start looking at my Raven Wing element of my army, and for that I want to convert my Outrider bike squads and my Chaplain on bike to, that's the point, I could also buy one of those this weekend. Yeah, basically I'm getting those, but I want to kind of convert them into grav bikes as opposed to the standard sort of bikes that you get. Now, there are rumours that the new edition is going to be assault focused for the marine half of the box, or the rumoured marine half of the box. Now, whether this amounts to new Outrider sculpts, or even like there is rumours that it is a multi-part kit that potentially could be coming, but I doubt that you'll get a multi-part kit in the launch box. That's somewhat unheard of. They tend to stick with like static builds and push fit models for those starter boxes or the launch boxes, because they can fit more stuff on the sprue, and having multi-part kits essentially means having more options, which means there's less space on the sprues for everything else. Anyway, that's kind of the logic there. The rumor is that the box is going to be somewhat fast attack focused, which could mean bikes. I don't think it will. I think it's going to mean things like Vanguard veterans and or jump troops essentially. So we will see. That's supposed to be coming like mid to early quarter 2, so I have time on that side of things. But yeah, the going back to the terrain before I sidetracked myself, I would like to essentially have not only the terrain kind of remodeled and rescaled, because the old scale was for like Firstborn and Imperial Guard, old Imperial Guard, which were significantly smaller than the Primaris stuff. But I would also like to be able to have like infested versions, so you know, the Bastion, for example, but have it be covered in like nasty Tyranidy looking bits, so that it's representing kind of a fallen outpost, and being able to sort of print that, I don't know, put it up on the Patreon or something once it's done. We'll see how that goes. But the same with like the bike conversion bits, is I want to do them and then kind of have them available for people if they want to use them themselves. But yeah, that's kind of a longer term goal for this year. And in an ideal world, it would be nice to be able to do this kind of stuff more. If I'm honest, not have to worry about, hey Seth, not have to worry about like a regular job. But that's more pipe dream stuff than, you know, potential goals. But who knows? How is your week off, Sass? You catch me mid-blether about my intentions and goals for this year as to what I would like to kind of do for the channel, the Patreon, all that crap. Oh, sounds like Lucy's being a bit of a buzz. Oh, also something I found out today. If you are a subscriber to the Xbox Game Pass, there is a bunch of games being added to this week and next week. If you are a fan of the Death Stranding games, I believe the second one is going live on Xbox Game Pass today, and then either today or next week. Space Marine 2 is also going to be going on to the Game Pass, so there's a bunch of others. I think there was something about Sims 25th birthday or something on there too, if that is your inclination, preferences. I don't know. I never really could get into The Sims. Sammy likes it. My brother liked The Sims. I just never could. I tried. I gave it a fair go a few times. I definitely tried. You just like building in The Sims? Yeah. Is that you just joining the stream, Sass? Did you see the not that you'll know what it's called, but did you see the green guy that I showed off earlier on that I've been working on for a video this weekend? Or more accurately, this weekend's video. I was doing like a big old show and tell kind of thing at the start, like, hey, this is all the stuff that I've got on my desk. Here's the stuff that I plan to do for the next few videos. I don't know that anyone was actually here for it, but it felt appropriate. Okay, I will start watching Fallout as well, the second season. I can't keep telling people that I need to watch it, they can't tell me the spoilers and all that stuff. Although everyone at work at the moment is talking about that show called Traders. I don't know if you watched that at all. It's basically like if you have ever played, like if you remember ages ago on that other channel that we all used to kind of frequent, the Monday Night Werewolf game, where Some of you pretend to be werewolves. Sorry, some of you get made to be werewolves, and some of you are villagers, and then you get to vote people out. It's like a TV show of that premise. Yeah, so there's a TV show out in, I believe, in both the States and in the UK now, called Traitors. And essentially it's the game we used to play on the other channel that was where everyone kind of met, which that version of the game, I believe it was called Monday Night Werewolf or something like that. Basically where you get to be basically you murder people essentially, and the survivors have to guess who the murderers are, and they need to do it before they all get murdered or turned based on what variation of the game you're playing. Yeah, but the TV show version is essentially it's called Traitors, and it's that premise, right? You have to do a bunch of challenges, you have to then have a vote, and there's, I believe, money involved. I don't know, but they're banging on about it at work at the moment, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for the stuff at the moment that I'm watching doing, and there's no way that I have time for another thing. Okay, so that game version is called Town of Salem. Right. What I was saying is I showed this off at the start. I don't know if you saw it or not. But this is what I've been working on for this weekend's tutorial. It's how to paint Dark Angels. I still have a few bits to finish off, namely the black and the skin, as well as a few little accent bits, and the silver, actually, before I forget. But we've been working hard. I like it. I think it looks really good. So, we're now going to work on the Gravis Captain a bit more. I'm just going to give it a quick dust. I'm just going to throw my dusting paintbrush on the floor. Oh, hi Cleo. For some reason Cleo's down here. And everyone else is upstairs. That's unusual. She usually takes every opportunity to get up on the bed. Excuse me. Okay. Let us get that brush. This brush. It would appear that we have already done some of the highlighting on this chap. So, with that being said, let's go. Yeah, okay. I think I know where I am with this. Another good game yesterday, I thought. I tried so hard not to be distracted. You guys were really making it difficult. Yeah. Okay, I apologize in advance. I am not used to doing this. I think Johnny likes the chaos secretly. He just also likes to focus sometimes. You'll see. You'll be in his game on Sundays, you'll see. Okay. As I was saying, I apologize in advance. I don't usually do this on camera, live, but we're giving it a bash. Good. Not great. Basically what we're doing is we're picking out the edge around this big fat gauntlet fist thing. It's quite subtle at this point. And I don't think this camera is actually all that good at picking up the subtle change in detail here. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So you can see there's like the dark green area, and then there is kind of like about a mil of like a slightly in-betweeny color, and then there's like an edge of the brighter green that I've just put down, that's like tiny. Hello, Lucy.
Yep.
Can I help you? Well, you can say hi to Sass. Sass is there.
Hello, Sass.
I think she's busy playing Fallout as well.
I think
You think you love Fallout? You don't even know what Fallout is, darling.
No, I don't know which game it is.
No, you don't, but you did know it was a game, so good job. Alright, you go in bed. Oh, see? Look, what does that say? Okay.
Hello, Lucy.
See? What's that?
I'm not.
Oh. She's not playing Fallout.
She is playing something else.
I don't. She's probably playing something else. Yeah. No, well, she was watching Fallout, TV show. Don't know what she's doing now. Right, kiss.
When did she go to message now?
I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. How am I going to know what someone's going to message, darling? I don't know what they're going to write now.
You gotta see.
I am seeing in real time.
You got to see right there, but if you don't get into bed,
If
you'll
I
be tired forever.
if I don't get into bed, then I'll be tired forever. That is a fair point. You going to bed? You giving me a coin so I can what?
So you can buy things at my store.
Okay, I have a coin so I can buy things in Lucy's store.
No, don't get it in the camera.
Oh, Sass said. Oh, sorry. Sass says did she miss something?
I was?
No, you didn't. I was just. I was is what I'm being asked to say. Right, get your butt to bed. I was just wondering what you were playing instead of Fallout, or if you were still watching Fallout. That was all. She's a cheeky little madam sometimes. Gets it from her mother. Definitely doesn't get any attitude from me. Ah, Fair enough. Tell you what, this punching over your desk malarkey really does a number on your neck. So this paladin of the noble genie, are you like the clerics in that you don't necessarily have to be tied to a particular god, or in fact you don't get to sort of detail that stuff until 3rd level, I think it is? For the clerics, it's like, yes, I am a cleric of, you'll find out in 3 levels. Basic bitch paladin, yeah. Kind of the same for clerics. I mean, you'll know you've just played a cleric, or are playing a cleric. Oh, fluff. You can remember all the way back to when you was just a baby cleric. It was a while ago. Way back in Fandalen. Although I don't think you might have hit level 3 in the Fandalen, I can't remember. Oh, hang on. Let me check, because there's 2 seconds. Yeah, so for some reason, there's a live chat and a top chat thing on the comments. So I've now changed it to live chat, and I can now see that you've been saying some other bits. To a cleric who just told a party member to essentially own up or fuck off. Yeah. Yep. I think that's a stupid feature of and I'm saying feature. I think it's a stupid thing that YouTube does. Like, I can understand it being a feature that's implemented if your chat is, like, hustling, you know? But surely the default should be live chat as opposed to top chat. Unless you're, like, huge. I don't know. Just my humble thoughts. If you hear me taking a deep breath, by the way, it's because I'm trying to do, like, a bit of fine detail work. And as stupid as it's going to sound me saying this, but it's like a sniper's breath. You take a deep breath so that you can really concentrate on doing some very delicate lines. At least that's my excuse. And since I've started doing it, it's got better, so it can't be all wrong, right? How's that look? Hard to see. Kind of get a better idea of the fist standing out now, I guess. I wonder if turning this light off helps. Let me try this in a slightly different way. Yeah, that's good. At least you get your good opportunities for your background stuff to give you something somewhat meaningful. Okay, I'm gonna try this one last time. Okay, I think that's not a bad light there. You can kind of see the green on the fist a bit better. If it focuses. If it focuses. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go super zoomy. And then there we go. Now you can see all the delicate little lines I've been painting on the fist. Look at that. There we go. Sweet. Getting a little bit dry in mouth. 2 seconds. Eventually, he's going to look like this. He will, I promise. He will look like that, eventually. If not better, because he's got a very cool purple cloak. Oh, there is a filter? Okay, well that's good to know. I'll look out for it when I come to picking my stuff. Nice, sir. Do you even get many spells as a paladin to begin with? Also, didn't you say you were looking at a ranged paladin? Oh, just Dex Paladin. Okay, so just 2 slots. And a Dex Paladin. Is that not a ranged paladin? Well, I suppose you could just go for like a finesse weapon. If that's even a thing now, you know, that's something I haven't looked at a lot. Is, you know, weapon categories from the previous edition to this one. Like, I'm familiar with all the, like, the newer like mastery properties, you know. Like a swords, but yeah, okay. And you're an entertainer, okay. Yeah, just get us some vicious weapons and you'll be fine, right? You're not gonna be cursed with the same luck twice. Vicious weapons are cursed. I don't know. I think maybe just you were. I think it was just you. Awful. This has to be one of the most tedious parts of painting. Marines in particular. Have you seen they're doing a new Tomb Raider? With Sophie Turner as Lara. Amazon Prime show as well. So you kind of hope, yeah, you gotta kind of hope it does live up to the caliber that Prime shows usually. They set a pretty high bar usually. Not gonna lie. Okay, there we go. So we're going to focus on the face there. Starting to pick out a bit more of the detail. We did a bit on his chest as well. So if you look at sort of the ridges or the areas on his face and kind of on the chest plate around the vents, and also the edges of like the stomach plating, and then compare it to like the knee that's closest to the camera at the bottom, hopefully you can sort of see that there's like a difference on the edges. It's not being fully shown on the camera itself. It's the same kind of difference on the fist, the big fist, should we say, to this fist, which has clearly only had a little bit of highlighting done. Maybe that's a slightly better angle. I'm very happy with how this is looking. It's so these guys are called Dark Angels, and they are all about that, like the dark green kind of aesthetic. I did show one off earlier on, but here's what like the regular guys look like. This is like the base color dark green with the transfers on, and I'm pretty sure that's all I've done with these guys. No, I've done like a recessed shade as well, but you can't really see it all that well. A recessed shade, there you go. So if you have a look on the shoulder, you can see like there's a dark line in the crease there that runs along the edge of the trim. So that's what the recess shading does. That kind of gives you the darker shadows in those areas. You then have these guys, which I've done like a tiny bit more on, and started picking out the chest patterning. Their shoulder markings are slightly different, but they've got these big like heavy plasma weapons, and the backpacks are a little bit bigger. So there's 5 of those I also am doing. Then there is this guy who is white's very hard to paint, by the way, so he's in sections, but he's like their healer type character. He's called an apothecary, and the white, I don't know, yeah, you can see it kind of there. Like the trick with white is to kind of really emphasize the shadows. Use like an off-white color to sort of paint the white, and then you get like one really brighter highlight in. So there'll be like a pure white on the recesses, but you can see there's like a bluey grey trim around all the panels and things like that. But he gets a shoulder to denote that he's part of the same group as these guys. So that's his shoulder, which will get reattached at some point once he's earned it. These guys are part of what's called the Deathwing. So they have this like bone armor. The green that ties them into the others is on their chest plate and on this tabard bit. And then they also get these shields as well. So in this particular guy's case, his shield's going to be attached like here, kind of on his backpack. But yeah, so there's 3 of these chaps. They get this shield each. Then there's others that I will be doing along the way, as well as switching over to others. But yeah, basically they have this like really dark, this particular brand is called Wyvern Green, but the one I actually used for the majority of them is this one. It's called Caliban Green. It's like a deep, they're basically the same color essentially. And then the highlight I've just been using is this one, which is called Emerald Green. And then the next step to get that kind of like really vibrant edge to it is to go in with some of this ethereal green, and that kind of just really goes on just some of the like the higher bits to kind of get that pop on the edge of some of those panels. But I really need to go to the loo, and it is about time. So I think I'm going to wrap things up there. Say thank you for hanging out with me again. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits there for this week on the old lives. And I just need to say thank you for hanging out. Thank you for chatting. If you're watching this after the effect and not live, thank you as well. And feel free to drop us a comment with what you're working on. If you're doing a new army this year, or if you're taking part in the Million Minis Challenge, I'd love to hear from you. I believe there are links as well to the Tabletop Tavern Discord in the socials below. So if you haven't yet, feel free to jump over there and hang out with us whilst we're not streaming and doing all this stuff and things. But that's it for me. I will be back next Wednesday, and look forward to seeing my new video drop on Sunday. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care.